Hi, folks. It is December 27th, 2017, coming to the end of the year. This is our last Global Tarot Circle for the year. It is now 6:58. We'll start officially in 2 minutes. And I thank you so much for being here. If you're watching this in archive, obviously we're not going to be able to respond to you because if we're in archive, we're not live. But please do watch because we do a lot of fun things and I think you'll really enjoy it. Today, we're going to start with readings as we usually do. And I see people are starting to come in. I have stopped trying to follow the comments as well as I used to because there's just too many of us now. I see Lori is here. I'm so glad you're here, Lori. If you are here, go ahead and comment in. We use the comments like a chat room. So tell us where you are in the world. Tell us what deck you're working on. And for our beginning, we always start with readings. So if you have a question you would like a reading on, go ahead and ask your question. So you can chat in, let us know who you are, where you are, what you're doing, and let us know if you have a question. We're going to do some fun stuff today. I'm going to talk a little bit about reading for the new year. How do you do a reading for an entire year? We're going to talk about that, and we're going to talk about ways to combine tarot reading and tarot magic all at the same time. So we'll do all of that. In the meanwhile, while we're waiting for people to get here, it's just 7 o'clock now, so we're just starting. Let me just announce that finally, the second edition of Fortune Stellar is finished. It's finished. It's being shipped. It has to come to me first. For those of you who have pre-ordered, and I thank you so much, it has to come to me. I'm going to sign them and send them off to you. And I want to let you know, because you guys have waited a long time for this, Stephen Bright and I have worked together on a special present for you. So whether you have pre-ordered the e-version or the paperback version, you're going to get a special present from us as well. Okay, and Lori says she's getting ready to start doing a reading for the new year. So that's great. And here's Amy. She's here. Now, Amy sent me an awesome holiday gift. Oh, my goodness gracious. It's so psychic of her. Although Amy and I have talked many times, I don't know that I've ever told her that I am a complete tea aficionado. But I am. I have all kinds of teapots and infusers and all of that. And Amy actually sent me something I did not have, a beautiful infuser and this great winter solstice tea, did not put a gift card in. So I had the psychic mystery of who the heck sent me this amazing present. Nicely, she took me out of my misery and told me that it was indeed she. So thank you so much. So happy with that. Okay. So we've got Amy on the Crystal Coast of North Carolina using the Rider-Waite. We've got Lori in Florida, although Florida's a big state. You know, I got really excited when I found out that Lori was here in Florida, but she's in Pensacola. That's like a whole other country. And she's using the Everyday Witch Tarot. What a great tarot that is. And Stephen Bright is here. Stephen is the artist who's designed the new cover for Fortune Stellar. He's also designing the cover for my next 2 books. And as I said, he and I have just worked together on a special gift for you guys. So, and I know Stephen's in the UK, so it's like midnight, 1 o'clock there, something like that. I see Leisha is here. So glad you're here. So this is the call for questions. Do you have a burning question? That could be the kind of question that you would want to ask a room full of tarot readers. Something about yourself or your life where we can pull some cards for you. It could also be a question about tarot reading, about a particular card that you've gotten that you don't understand, something like that. I see Cheryl's here. Hi, Cheryl. Glad that you're here. So now is the time. Amadine. So glad you're here. Thanks for being here. Now is the time to ask questions. We're going to get into some exercises in a little while. But while people are just coming in, and I see we've got 11 people here already, so that's fabulous. While people are just coming in, now is a great time to ask a question, and here's Karen. So we got to ask you, Karen, how's Rowdy? Gotta know. Glad that you're here. So go ahead. Oh, here we go. Amandine, am I pronouncing your name correctly? I may not be. Give me correct pronunciation if I'm not, but we've got our first question. Will I have a job within the next 2 months? Now, I have to assume that when you ask that question that you are actually looking for a job. I have to assume that. So let's go ahead and do that. We are looking for a new job for Amandine, and let me know again if I'm pronouncing that incorrectly. What you got to do, if you want to pull a card, we all get to play, we all get to do readings here. Go ahead, put her name, Amandine, the card you got, and your interpretation. And I see that Cheryl has a question, and Amy has a question. And Karen says that Rowdy, her dog, is doing well, is hopping and playing. So thank goodness. We've been reading for Rowdy the past few months. Okay, Amandine, yes, I did it correctly. Yay. I hate to get people's names wrong. My name is Christiana. A lot of people get that wrong. I'm understanding about it, but I always like to get people's names right. Maria is here. So glad you're here. Okay, and Amandine is indeed looking for a job. So, will she have a new job within the next 2 months? Ooh, death reversed. Oh my goodness, it may take longer. Let's ask this question. What do you need to do to get a job in the next 2 months? Okay, 5 of Cups reversed. You could have a job in the next 2 months, but you may have to take a job you don't like. So it will depend on how desperate your situation is. If you can wait longer, when do I think you would find a good job? Ooh, Queen of Wands. There's a part of me that says hold out if you can. When do we think a great job would come? The Queen of Wands would say a job where you might have some leadership, be able to nurture others, use your creativity. I think that would be great, but it may take a little longer than 2 months. Here's Joanne coming in with a reading. 5 of Pentacles. She's been disappointed in the past, but do not lose faith. Don't let rejection get you down. Keep trying. That is great advice. And Joanne gave us a great exercise. For those of you who don't know, we actually have a Facebook group here called Global Tarot Circle. We do exercises during Global Tarot Circle, and then we do them in the group as well. We've just started that. It's kind of fun. And before we meet, I usually ask people, what would you like to do? And Joanne has given us a great thing that we're going to do later. So you can really have input into what we do, and you can keep in touch with the people here throughout the month. Okay. And let's see. Giselle is here. So great to see you. And Betsy from Connecticut. How are you? So great to have you here. Okay, so Betsy wants to know if she'll find a place to live in the next year. And again, I'm not going to be able to read all of the comments, so you guys make sure you read the comments and share with each other because we're all reading for each other here. I see Amy has done a reading for Amandine as well. A lot of fives coming up for Amandine. You know, when we have 5s, it's not easy, but it's growth and it's expansion. Okay, and Irene is here. Good to see you. Okay, so Betsy, will Betsy have a new place to live this year? Okay, I cheated. I pulled 2 cards because Magician reversed. I'm thinking no, but then the Fool. Now, the Fool does not mean you're foolish. It would be a new adventure. So yes, I think you will. If anyone else wants to comment on Betsy getting a new place to live this year. To me, with the Magician and then the Fool, I feel like it'll take a little while, but I think it'll happen. And if you'd like to do a reading on that, just say her name, Betsy, the card you pulled, and your interpretation. Okay, very good. So let's see. Let me just go back here. Anna is here. Nice to see you. Ryan is here. Hey, Ryan. Okay, let's see what we got. Robert is here. Good to see you. Okay, I am just going backwards because, okay, Amy wants to know about prospects for a writing job in January. And I see Stephen is pulled for Amadine, probably with his own deck. He's designed a beautiful deck, Spirit Within Tarot, so how great is that? Which, by the way, Stephen, I actually put my hand on. I don't have the deck yet, but I taught a class the other day with Mary Ellen Collins, and she brought the deck. I saw my name on it because I did review it. And oh, it is beautiful in person. I cannot wait to get my own copy. So how great is that? Okay, and here's Tanya. Nice to see you here. So I want to go back to Amy's writing job. This is a reading for Amy. If you'd like to read for Amy, go ahead, write her name, the name of the card, and what you think. The question is, will she get a writing job? Will she get a writing job in January? Oh, the Chariot. Very, very possible. You may have to look for it. You may have to make it happen. But yes, very possible. Very possible. And Elba is here, my good tarot friend. How are you? And here's Celeste from up in Connecticut. You guys must be freezing your butts off up there. So glad you're here. Diana's here. Very good. Very good. Glad you're all here. And we still have readings going on. Okay, Tanya wants to know, what is the best way to deal with PS? What is PS? Tanya, chat back and tell me what PS is. I just don't know. And I'm thinking about making up all kinds of funny things, and I shouldn't do that. So I'm not going to do that. No. Oh, and Celeste says she loves the snow. I know you do. That's why you live there and I live here. But I'll be there in March, so I hope to see you then. Okay, let's see. Okay. And so, Betsy, you're on the fence about moving, and Amy got that. Two of Swords, it's up to you. Yeah, that makes sense. Okay. Oh, Stephen wants to give me a set. Well, I'm going to send you a book, so, we can work that out for sure. And here's Jennifer. Hey, how are you? Okay, Jennifer wants to know where her relationship will go this year. I'm assuming this is a romantic relationship, and we want to see how it's going to go this year. So let's do a reading for Jennifer, and you guys know the drill. Write her name, Jennifer, the card you get, and your interpretation. And you guys, if we're reading for you, read the comments, because I'm not going to have a chance to read them all to you. So make sure you read the comments and respond to the people who read for you. It's one of my favorite things to do, is to get us all together from all over the world and study together and do readings together. How awesome is that? Okay, so Jennifer's relationship this year. Ooh, the Hanged Man. So my question is, where do you want it to go? So the Hanged Man is interesting here. It suggests that there may be some things that are out of your control and out of the other person's control that may make the relationship a little difficult. You're going to have to really look at how you feel, how you both feel, and you're going to have to be careful about attitude. One thing that the Hanged Man says is if you can't change your situation, you have to change your attitude. So there may be some situations in there where the two of you really have to work together to communicate, to find time together, to make it work. But it's very much up to you. If you want this to work, I think you can make it work. That's my opinion. Everyone else? Okay, got it. Everyone else can let Jennifer know about her relationship. And for Tanya, I should have thought of this. PS is the initials of her coworker. Tanya has a difficult coworker whose name is PS, and we want to know how she should deal with that coworker. So here is a reading for Tanya, and I see that other readings are going by. Everyone is participating. There's one for Amy, for Jennifer, couple for Jennifer, couple for Amy, all good stuff. So make sure you're reading in the comments. You don't have to look at my face all the time. You know what my face looks like. Read in the comments so you can see what's going on with these readings. Okay, now, Tanya, how do you deal with your difficult coworker initialed PS? Queen of Pentacles. You be a good coworker. Whether or not she's a good coworker, you be a good coworker. You be good at your job. You stay in your lane. And when you have to deal with her or him, whoever it is, be cordial. Rise above. I don't care how awful this person is. You rise above. You do a good job. You be a good coworker. You stay in your lane, no matter how hard that is. Okay? Anyone else want to take a stab at that? That's for Tanya. Pull the card. Let her know what you think, how she should deal with this difficult coworker. Okay. Let's see. Irene is looking for some advice on teaching in January. What does Irene need to know about the teaching she's going to do in January? The Hermit reversed. Oh, man, I think you're going to like the people you're working with. I realized that the Hermit upright would talk about sharing wisdom, which you're going to be doing. But reversed, it really suggests a nice feeling with the people you're working with. The advice is to enjoy the people, to let them like you, to let them know you, to get to know them, to really recognize that in teaching, it's not just giving information, it's not just sharing wisdom, it's sharing an energy. Work with that and have a good time. If you'd like to read for Irene, just put her name, pull a card, and give her advice for teaching in January. Oh, we've got another problem coworker for Celeste. And again, these are going by. I know I'm missing some. If I've missed your question, you are allowed to re-ask it, by all means. Okay, let's see. Where were we? Celeste's problem coworker named EH. We want to know if EH is going to leave. Okay, so for Celeste, will EH leave? Actually, I think so. Seven of Pentacles reversed, I think so, yes. And honestly, with the Seven of Pentacles, I would say by summer. Very likely to go. Anyone want to take a stab at that? That's for Celeste. Go ahead. Okay. Okay, very good. Let's see, we've got readings for Tanya, and here's a question from Giselle, my good friend in Connecticut, also freezing her bippy up there. So Giselle wants to know how her son is going to do in court. He's going to court for his daughter. So let's see, how's that going to go? Ooh, Magician reversed. Okay, this is going to be hard because I feel like there are people who have a view of what is happening and what has happened, and that view is not favorable to your son. What needs to happen is their minds need to be open. They need new information. Bring new information to court and he'll do much better. Anyone else wants to take a stab at that? That's for Giselle. Tell us what card you got and what your answer is. Very good. Okay, here's Diane. She wants to know about her marriage. How will Diane's marriage be in 2018? I assume you are already married and have been married, I'm assuming. Let's take a look. How will that go? Ooh, Page of Pentacles reversed. Goodness gracious. So one question is there might be kids involved here, and there might be a question about kids or problems with kids. You guys not agreeing about the kids, that could be an issue. There could also be issues about money and about communication. If you want your marriage to go well this year, you really need to stay mature because sometimes your partner is not. So you have to be the mature one. You have to facilitate communication, particularly communication about finances, and if there are younger people involved, about them as well. So communication is going to be the key, and you have to facilitate it. Okay, here's Ryan, and I know this is you coming around a second time, Ryan, and I appreciate that. Again, if we don't get to your questions, I'm not ignoring you. I'm just trying to get to as many people as I can without staring at my phone like this, because I got a complaint about that a couple times ago, and you know what? It was a good complaint. No one wants to sit here and watch me stare at my phone for an hour. I get that. So, Ryan applied for a job with a dream tech company. A gateway into the computer development scene. What's the energy surrounding this job opportunity? Okay, and this is for Ryan. If anyone wants to read for Ryan, write his name, the card you get, and what you think. When we look at the energy of this potential job for Ryan, The moon reversed. That's not a bad thing. That could really talk about opening up, revealing a mystery. There's some potential here. Do I think Two of Cups. I think you might end up getting this job. I think it's very possible for you. I feel good. I feel good about it. Anyone else? Go for it. Here's Amy reading for Diane. Oh, and you know what I saw, and I just happened to remember this because I know Karen, and I've known her for a long time, and she's been real good about coming to these. She used to come to stuff in the Poconos when I was there, too. She's had some job interviews recently and wants to know if she will have a new job soon. Anyone want to play with that? Her name is Karen. Pull a card. What's up with her new job? Will she have a new job? Justice reversed. Man, you often feel like you get screwed in these things. I'm so sorry. It may take a while. What do you have to do to get a new job? Ooh, Knight of Wands reversed. But then Four of Wands. It will happen. Don't get discouraged. The biggest problem for you, Karen, is sometimes things move slowly in your life. I can't tell you why. I just know that they do. And in that, you can become very discouraged. And when you get discouraged, you slow things down even more. So stay positive. Don't be discouraged. You'll get there. Okay, let's see. Lori wants to know about her marriage in 2018. Okay, anyone's in for this? Her name is Lori. You know what to do. Give her your name. Write down her name, the card you get, and what you think. And there's plenty of readings going on in the comments, so make sure you read the comments and see what we see. This is for Lori's marriage. Ooh, the Sun. So mostly this is good. You guys can have happiness, can enjoy each other, but you have to be careful about ego. One or both of you may always want to be the one in the spotlight. It's important if one person is a little too much in the ego, they need to pull back. Both of you need to be able to shine, and you need to help each other shine. Okay, very good, very good. Lots of readings going on for Ryan. Okay, we can take a couple of more questions. Alicia wants to travel in 2018. Do we see travel for Alicia? Go ahead and pull a card for travel for Alicia. If you like, put his name, Alicia, the name of the card, and your interpretation. What do we see for Alicia and travel? The moon reversed. Again, second time I've gotten that, and you saw me shuffle. So that would be traveling to places that you have seen mysterious, that you've seen as mysterious in the past. That might be traveling to spiritual sites or sites that are known for their energy. But I think it's very possible. Very possible. Okay, and I just love this. I love seeing all of these people reading for each other. What a wonderful thing this is. People from all over the world sharing readings, sharing the cards. So that is just great. Okay, let's see. Here's Anna reading for Diane. That is fabulous. Okay, so if there are a few more questions dribbling in, we can go ahead and take them. Otherwise, I'd like to get started, and you can go ahead and continue doing the readings you want. You know, this is always a crazy free-for-all. That's okay. Here we go. Cheryl and her dream. So you were okay, so this is great. This is like when the cards come into your dreams. Thanks for reposting this. I wanted to play with this, and it went by too quick, Cheryl, so thank you. So Cheryl had a dream about the cards, and I always think it's very interesting. I have clients dreaming about the cards that have never seen the cards because they're my phone clients, but they still dream about the cards. I think this is fabulous. Okay, so Cheryl pulled two cards, a cat and a king, and that was her dream, and she's wondering what it means. I pulled a cat and a king. I don't see any cards with these symbols. Well, there are cats on a lot of cards. Most specifically in the weight deck, the Queen of Wands has a cat, interestingly. And there are four kings in any deck. So a cat and a king. But I think it's interesting because, you know, if you were given a specific card, you might have seen the number, you might have identified the card. I once got the Strength card in my dream, and there it was, this one big card. I had a client tell me that in a dream she had a reading with me, and she pulled the card herself, which is funny because she's a phone client, and the card said 21 on it. Now, she doesn't know tarot at all. And she said, my interpretation for that was that everything would be fine. Everything would come out okay. And I'd explained to her, 21 is the world, which talks about a positive completion. So she actually did the interpretation in her dream. So how great is that? So here's what I want to do with Cheryl's dream. Rather than trying to say which card it was, I'd like to play with the three concepts that she was dreaming about the cards, and in the card she saw a cat and a king. And I would like to look at what those things mean. So this is how I'm going to handle it, and this is a nice teachable moment for you. This is how I often do dream interpretation with tarot. So I'm going to try and share what I see, and I'll show you my process. But if anyone else has a way of doing this or something they'd like to comment or read on for Cheryl's dream, go right ahead. Cheryl says they were not numbered. Okay, no problem. So I'm going to pull a card to talk about why Cheryl dreamed about the cards. What did that mean? And I get the Five of Pentacles. Then I'm going to pull a card for the cat. What does the cat mean? The Queen of Cups reversed. Then for the king, the Page of Swords. Okay, so what do I make of this dream, looking at these three cards? I think you were pulling cards in your dreams because you really are interested in the cards, and I know that you are, and you're learning them, but you're not yet fully comfortable with their meanings, and I think sometimes feel uncomfortable with that. I would encourage you to embrace the cards and embrace how they speak to you. And, recognize, yes, we are always learning. I will be a better reader tomorrow than I am today. I promise you. So will you. But in the moment that you're in, you're the best reader you can be. So honor your relationship with the cards. Now, the Queen of Cups and the Page of Swords, I think it's interesting. They're both court cards. Both of them. And so it could be that both of these cards represent people in your life, significant people. And so I would ask you to look at that. If I were to say, who is the cat in your life and who is the the king, who is the cat in your life and who is the king, that might give you some insight into your personal relationships. Now, if I look at this, the cat was the Queen of Cups and reversed. And to me, that would talk a little bit about you maybe needing some comfort. That there may be a way in which you are sad. And the king was the Page of Swords. It seems that what will make you not sad is to express yourself. You need to speak with more people. You need to share. You need to write. You need to connect with people and share who you are. So I would say use the cards. Have fun with them. Look at your relationships and see if you can identify someone who feels like a cat and someone who feels like a king, and think about those relationships. And recognize that you may have some sadness in you, and that sadness will be alleviated through communication, through sharing your thoughts with friends, through sharing through the written word, maybe keeping a blog, that kind of thing. It's important for you to teach others and to share your wisdom. Now, the Page of Swords can also talk about learning, about being an eternal student. So share what you are, share what you know, share your words, but also be willing to learn. That's what I get. I'll be really interested to hear how that resonates. Now, Joanne says the cat could signify distrust or standoffishness where the king is concerned if this fits into your life situation. Interesting. So Joanne sees perhaps the cat as a comment on the king. Interesting. Hey, Lola's here. Good to see you. Okay. Oh, man, you just got in under the wire there, Lola. Good for you. Okay, here's Lola's question. Lola wants a new job and doesn't have her card, so she can't do any readings, but that's okay. We're so glad you're here. Oh, and Cheryl says it's spot on and will contact me later. Oh, that's awesome. You can also share, if there's more you want to share about that or anything at all, we can continue all of these conversations in the Global Tarot Circle Facebook group. So if you're not a member there, please do ask to join. Okay. Now, so Lola wants a new job. Will Lola have a new job? So go ahead. If you want to do a reading for Lola, write her name, Lola. We actually tend to have two Lolas here. This is Lola Kenton. So glad you're here. So Lola, the card you pulled, and do we think Lola will get a new job? Ooh, 4 of Cups. So I could see you getting a job, but I don't know if it's a job you're going to like. So let's ask again. What do you have to do to get a job you'll like? Ooh, 8 of Pentacles reversed. Lola. I think you need to really think about what you want, what kind of job you want. What does this... And Joanne's singing the song, whatever Lola wants, Lola gets. Yeah, I'm sure Lola's heard that before. And to be fair, I was singing that in my head too. I cannot tell a lie. Okay. So Irene gets the Wheel of Fortune for Lola, a very good card. Karen gets 2 of Cups reversed. Be careful, no rash decisions. I think you will ultimately get a good job. I do. But I agree, gotta be careful. Gotta be careful. You don't want to jump out of the frying pan and into the fire. And we've done a lot of job readings today. Maybe it's because it's the end of the year and people are looking at making some changes in the new year. Maybe there's just a lot of people wanting jobs right now. But I think it's interesting when we look at job readings, how to really play with a job reading. Sometimes it makes sense to look at, what is the current job? What's right with it? What's wrong with it? What do you need to do to get another job? There's a lot of questions you can ask. And we see Anna reading for Giselle, so there's a lot of great stuff going on. You go ahead and keep on reading and keep on checking in the chat room to see your reading. I know it's not really a chat room. It's a comment thread. I know, but still. Okay, so keep checking there because we got readings going on. But I'd like to play with 2018. A lot of people have already sort of asked, will we do this in 2018? Will we do that in 2018? And so the question really becomes, how do you read for a whole year? Oh my gosh, Uma Elizabeth, good to see you. Uma, also known as Amy, was a great volunteer for me for the holiday open house we held here in Palm City last week. Did a bunch of readings, really helped out a great deal. Turned me on to the Tarot Nerds Facebook group, which I've appreciated, by the way. So glad you're here. And one more question. Uma wants to know if this is a good year to have a baby. Now, she already has 2 kids and they're getting older, but this crazy girl wants another one. So, is 2018 a good year for Uma and her fiance to have a baby? And if you'd like to comment on that, go ahead. Uma, the name of the card and your interpretation. Ooh, 6 of Pentacles reversed. I would say be careful. Make sure you have the resources you need so it's not stressful. The real issue is about resources, and that's in terms of time, money, energy, all of that. So be careful. Make sure you have it to give before you create someone you have to give to. That's not to say you can't or shouldn't, but just make sure you got your ducks in a row that way. And okay, to be fair, most of us when we had babies, I'm a little past the baby having time, but most of us when we had babies were not at all prepared. Most of our babies came as surprises and were welcome anyway. So if it happens that way, that's okay too. We always find a way, don't we? Okay, so reading for the new year. How do we do a reading for a whole year? So there's a lot of different ways. I will, before the 31st, or maybe frantically on the 31st, I will do my tarot reading for 2018 for the entire country or the entire planet or whatever. But I recognize that is very much an academic process, because really, how can a couple of cards speak to the entire country? Although I will comment, and you can check my blog and go back and see this. But last year, when I did a reading for 2017, the first two cards I pulled, the Tower, I kid you not, and the Ten of Pentacles. And, there's a lot we could have done with that. There's a lot I did with that. But, it's always so interesting to record the cards you pull and then go back and see what happens. Now the year is at an end. Speaking as an American, the Tower and the Ten of Pentacles. We have watched our neighbors' houses be blown away, burned down, flooded. If we're lucky enough to still be in our houses, we sat here on Facebook and watched our friends lose their homes one at a time, many at a time. Fires, floods, mudslides, hurricanes, all of that. So when I look back, looking at the Ten of Pentacles and the Tower that came up for the year last year, I really think that had a lot to do with all of the natural disasters we experienced. Thinking about the Ten of Pentacles as being home and real estate and the Tower being the Tower, well, a lot of people went through that in this country this year, having to do with storms and fires and all of that. So, I recognize it's hard to read for an entire country or an entire year, but I would like to talk about how we can do a good year reading for ourselves. And I'd like to propose a couple of different things that we try. And then we have an exercise that Joanne suggested we do. And so we'll close with Joanne's exercise. And the way to get your exercise done is simply to ask about it or mention it in the Global Tarot Circle Facebook page. And I really like to use other people's ideas. I only have a certain number of ideas and then I'm done. So the more ideas you share with me, the more interesting this will be. Okay, so I'm going to give you a few short ways to read for the new year. Honestly, when I read for a client for the new year, I will do one of two things depending on how long we have. If we have time, I do one card for each month. So in January, this is the energy. In February, this is the energy. In March, this is what I see. And I do a year forecast. If I don't have that much time, I'll do 4 cards divided into quarters. This is your first quarter, this is your second quarter, this is your third quarter, this is your fourth quarter. That's a way to go as well. For this exercise, I want to do just 2 cards, and one is for the year that was, and the other for the year that will be. So I'd like us all who have our cards with us to try this reading for yourself and share what you get. So what we're going to do is the first card is about what am I taking from 2017? What did I learn in 2017? And I mean, this was a hell of a year for a lot of people. A lot of people are like, oh my gosh, just get me out of here. Maybe 2018 will be better. But you know what? In every year, you learn something. Something good happens. So the first card is, what is a good thing that you learned or that you experienced that you're taking from 2017 into 2018? That's your first card. The Fool is what I got, and I'm real happy with that. I think starting my journey as a self-published author, even though it has been much more hellish than I thought it would be, there is so much to know. If you want to self-publish a book and have it look like a book published by a publisher, oh my gosh. I think Stephen and I, along with John and Mary Ellen, that's our team, we really made it happen. And when you see the book, you'll agree. But it took a lot. But I have started my journey now as a self-published author, and there's going to be no stopping me. Another way that I think the Fool has been with me this year is I've really learned to take a lot of risks. I moved again last year quite unexpectedly for a psychic, but I did it to help a family member, and it was the right thing to do. So, recognizing that if you take risks and do it for the right reason, things will be good. So, what have you learned this year? Celeste got the Queen of Swords. Have you learned what your truth is? Have you learned to speak the truth in a way that you haven't? Have you accepted a truth that you had not accepted before? Have you been willing to speak a hard truth? That's what I'd think about that. So the second card, and you can go ahead and share these as one card or two cards, whatever you like. Amandine got Judgment for 217. Wake up call, figuring out what I want in life. Isn't that great? Okay. Karen got the 7 of Wands in 217. I will be okay no matter what. Heck yeah. That's what I got from the Fool for me as well. And that is a great lesson. I can't believe I had to be 55 years old to figure that out. But it's a good lesson. If I'm still breathing, I'm okay. You too. Okay. Amy learned the King of Cups this year. Very good. Anna, 7 of Wands. Go ahead and put in your interpretation of that if you have a sense of it. So now, 2018, here's the question. What blessing shall I be open to in 2018? What blessing shall I be open to in 2018? 4 of Pentacles, the blessing of learning to hang on to some money, to not always feel like I'm impoverished, and to have good boundaries and take better care of myself. Many of you know I kind of go through this whole self-care crisis. I'm really blessed with very good health. But I work a crazy job, as you can see. I'm busy. I like food way too much. I gain and lose the same 10 pounds a million times. This to me says in 2018, I'm going to get better at taking care of myself, which I really need. Okay, so there's a 2-card New Year's spread that's kind of fun. I see people going in and doing that. So that's beautiful. So here's another exercise. This one is going to take a little bit more. Oh, Celeste got the 8 of Wands. Is that for 2018? Ooh, we are moving forward. I think it's interesting to note, Celeste, that both of your cards are about communication. That's just interesting. Cheryl got the Queen of Wands for 2017, and for 2018, 5 of Cups. Interesting. Very good. Very good. Okay, so we got some good things going on there. So now, anyone who would like to shuffle, and we're going to do one more exercise, and then we'll do Joanne's exercise. Okay. So here's the exercise. I want you to think about 2018 and pull 4 cards. If you don't have your cards with you, you can always use an app on the phone if you want. Pull 4 cards for your 2018. You don't have to tell us what they are. Just pay attention to your 4 cards. So pull 4 cards. Now, these are the energies that are easily available to you in this coming year. Celeste wants to know if it will mean you'll shut up. I would think quite the opposite, Celeste. I think you will speak more and share more of your ideas and feelings with people. Some people will like that. Some will not. Okay, so pull 4 cards thinking about 2018. And see these as the energies that are available to you for this year. Now, is there any card that is reversed that you would like to turn upright? I have the Queen of Swords reversed. I'm going to turn it upright. And is there any card that you would like to see go away? You could just take a card and say, I do not want this energy in my year. And I have the 4 of Cups. And I don't want this energy in my year, so I'm taking that away. And that leaves me with the King of Cups, the Queen of Swords, and Strength. Strength, by the way, is my birth number card and also related to Leo, which is my rising sign. So this is a card. And in fact, my husband gave me a strength pillow. Some of you saw that. Celeste is worried she's going to get fired. It could happen. So these are my 3 cards. This is what I have left, which I really like. I see it as like me being a writer, my husband being awesome, and the 2 of us being in balance and being strong and well for the year. So that's a great exercise. And you don't have to limit it to 4 cards. You could do this at home. You could do it with 12 cards, 1 for each month, and say, okay, here are the energies available to me. What do I want to change? And by changing it, you're really adding some magic to all of this. Okay. Very good. And I see some people chatting in about that. So that is fabulous. Now, yes, and Joanne got what she's happy with. If you don't want to change anything, you don't have to change anything at all. But you know what? More and more I've been playing with the idea, playing with the idea that we can actually do magic with the cards as they present themselves. And that's a great thing. So Tracy is here, and she got the 3 of Pentacles, Temperance, and Page of Cups, took away the 5 of Pentacles. Very good. I just had to comment. I saw someone in the feed earlier who had just moved to Orlando. Is that true? A new Florida person? If you are a new Florida person having just moved to Orlando and we didn't answer your question, you just came into my head. I thought I saw it fly by earlier and didn't have time to deal with it. If you're still here, go ahead and chat that in again. We'd love to welcome you to Florida. Okay, now here is Joanne's exercise. So if you love it, you can thank Joanne. Oh, is that you, Tracy? Welcome to Florida. We're so glad you're here. So before we do Joanne's exercise, let's just pull a card for Tracy to welcome her to the Sunshine State. How will it be for Tracy to be here? Anyone wants to do it, just go ahead, put her name in, and the Empress. I think this is going to be great for you. I think that you're going to be creative. You're going to be successful. Terrific. I think this is terrific for you, and we're so glad to have you. And you know what? There is a great tarot meetup in Orlando run by my friend Mitchell Osborne. He and I do some work together sometimes. Join the meetup and definitely go join him. He's got some great people, and I'll probably see you there once in a while too. Okay. Now, here is Joanne's exercise. What she suggests we do is we think about, for each of us, what is one thing I can do in 2018 to make the planet better? Whether it's a practical thing like recycling, or whether it's an attitude thing, what can you do for the planet? And when we say the planet, it could be your community, it could be your country, your nation, the whole planet. Doesn't have to be ecological, environmental. It could be emotional. It could be a lot of things. So, what can I do to make the planet better? And I'd like each of you to ask this question, shuffle, pull a card. I see Julia's joined us. Good to see you here. So one card for the question, what can I do in 2018 to make the planet better? Go ahead and tell us what cards you got and what your interpretation is. Oh my goodness. I got the Fool reversed. So that's really interesting since I had the Fool upright earlier. So what is the Fool reversed about making the planet better? I almost want to say, if anyone has any insight on that, I'd love to hear it. What I want to say about it is maybe to worry less. Like many people these days, I do get very concerned. I get concerned about our post-fact society. As an example, okay, here's a crazy thing. I'm in a group, a pagan group. Oh my gosh, Celeste got the Fool reversed too. Oh my gosh, what are we going to do with this? I'd love to hear what you have to say about this. So I'm in a pagan group, and this great video from a geological group has been circulating in this pagan group. And it's this beautiful, huge, double-terminated quartz crystal being pulled out of the red Arkansas mud. And if anyone's ever mined in Arkansas, and I have a couple of times, this is a very real photo. This is what it looks like. I pulled a very small but beautiful double terminated crystal out of the Arkansas mud myself. And so there were a bunch of people on the list saying that it was obviously fake because crystals don't come this way. Well, clearly they do. And I was so upset. I'm telling you this because I was so upset by the lack of knowledge that people didn't even understand basic rock formation. You know, the dumbing down of the world is freaking me out. So for me, the Fool reverse is telling me not to worry so much about that. We are probably not really, as a country, as a culture, as a planet, we are probably not any more stupid than we ever were. Maybe the internet just makes it seem like we are. I don't know. But so for me, I am going to worry less about the planet being stupid. That's what I'm going to do. Celeste, I'd love to know how you interpret your Fool reversed. Now, let's see what we've got. Go ahead and tell us the card you got and also tell us your interpretation. Ooh, Amadine, Fool reversed. Maybe you could plant more. The flower caught my attention. So that's really funny because I really do love to garden. And I live in a condo right now, so I can't, but I have my lanai, my back sunroom is filled with plants. And I do want in this year to perhaps buy property and be able to garden. So that was a very good call. I love that. I love that. Okay, so Amy got the Chariot. Continue to drive my life according to my intuitive understanding of what is in my highest and best and continue to help others do the same. Oh, I love that. I love that. Okay. Oh, I see. Who did I see here? Diana Price. Nice to see you. Glad you're here. Diana says, oh, yes, we are. And I wonder what you're speaking to. Are you speaking to stupid? You might be. Okay. Celeste says, I think Fool reversed indicates let what more? Maybe she's going to say let what is going to happen. I don't know, but let's hear. And let's see what else people are saying. This is your one card for what you can do this year to make the planet a better place. So from Tracy, 7 of Cups. She signs a heap of petitions to help people, environment, etc., but don't really know how to interpret this. You know what I would say about the 7 of Cups? You know, it's like the John Lennon song. The 7 of Cups can be very much about imagination. Don't be afraid to imagine a better world, to use the gift of your imagination to open up new worlds for yourself and for the planet. And you know, let me tell you something about imagination too. Imagination is related to the brow chakra. The brow chakra controls our eyesight, our psychic vision, and our imagination. So for those of us who are really working on developing psychically, when we sit down to do psychic work, one of the things we talk about is how, well, I don't want it to be my imagination, and we shut down our imagination. But imagination is a psychic thing. It's right there. You shut down the imagination, you shut down the third eye. So use your imagination. That's what I would say to that. Okay, let's see. Okay, Karen got the 9 of Cups, which is really interesting. It's the wish card. Perhaps wish good things for the planet and they will come true. Amadine got the 2 of Swords. Be more conscious, research more. I'm not really informed about how I can be more active. You know, and the 2 of Swords, too, is such an interesting card because it really can sort of say, think more, feel less. Interesting. Okay, Diana's thinking about her Hanged Man. Well, if you can't change your situation, change your attitude. There's that. And it's okay that you were late. I'm so glad you're here, Diana. Good to see you. Let's see. Let whatever will be happen. There it is. Fool reverse. Let whatever will be happen. And you know, sometimes I think that's a very good interpretation for the Fool reversed. Okay. Stephen Bright, Page of Pentacles, more involved with my physical environment. Absolutely. That's beautiful. Okay. Now this is Amadine for Karen, her 9 of Cups. Be more conscious about water and how you use water. Oh, brilliant. Brilliant. I love that. I love that. Absolutely. Okay, let's see what else we got here. Diana, maybe the Hanged Man is telling me to be more conscious of the earth. Certainly. Certainly. Absolutely. So Joanne, and this is her exercise, so it's good to see that she's doing it. We have the Knight of Swords. Keep getting my message out there. Sooner or later, it will be heard, and it may help others. Beautiful. Love it. Love it. So, I think there's a lot of ways that we can read for the new year. We've played with a few here. Diana says, the head of the Hanged Man is like sunlight toward the greenery of the earth. Oh, that's beautiful. That's really nice. I like that. You know, putting your consciousness and your attention there. So over the next week and even into January, it is a great time to get together with friends or just sit with your cards and do some work about the new year. It doesn't have to be predictive. It could be magic. What card would you choose for your new year? What do you want in your new year? We could do that combination of magic and divination as we discussed before. So that's terrific. And hear from Tracy. Did a reading for my stepson and got justice as what he was afraid of. I was attracted to the little pink feather and said, you have someone watching over you. And I saw an older woman in my mind. It was his grandmother. Right. So often what you see in the card really can inform your interpretation. And that is perfect. And that is beautiful. So we're coming to the end of our time together. I am so grateful to all of you for being here. Some of you are watching in archive. This will be archived on Facebook and also on YouTube. So if you are watching in archive, thank you so much for being here. And we will meet again next month. I wish I could say there was a rhyme or a reason to when we meet. Often it's the last Wednesday of the month, but not always. We meet according to my schedule, and my schedule can be crazy. And here comes the shameless self-promotion. You can make my schedule crazier by having a reading with me. I am available by phone, Skype, FaceTime, Messenger, or here in my office in Palm City, Florida. I thank you so much for being here. And if you have some shameless self-promotion, if you have a website, if you're offering a service, if you do something that is helpful to the community, by all means, please post it. I want to see Stephen's blog and his tarot deck. I want to see Amy's blog. Go ahead and put your link, your Facebook page, whatever it is, put it here in the chat. Let's support each other in the work that we do. I want to thank you all so much for being here. I hope you've had a happy holiday season. I know the holiday season isn't easy for everyone, but I thank you all for being here. And we're seeing a lot of New Year's wishes. Joanne says, wishing everyone here a very happy New Year, health, wealth, and happiness for all. Well, and Celeste, a great question. Where can we get your book? It will be available on Amazon in both print and e-versions momentarily. I swear to goodness, it will be there momentarily. I expect within the next couple of days. You'll also be able to order a signed copy on my website at christianagaudet.com. And as I said, those of you who have supported the campaign and who have pre-ordered, it's coming. You'll have it really soon. And I have already announced the next two books. That will be the reissuing. It's a slightly changed second edition. The second edition for Fortune Stellar includes 100 new pages. So if you have the old Fortune Stellar, sorry, you need the new one too. Tarot Tour Guide, I'm only gently changing it. Just a little bit, just going back and saying, gee, I wish I'd said this better or said this more. I'm writing a new preface. Other than that, it'll remain pretty much the same. And then there's the new book, Project X. I think only Stephen in this room knows the name of the new book, and he's not telling anyone. So those will all be out, hopefully, in the first quarter of the new year. Okay, and I see Stephen is coming in with his shameless self-promotion, and I'll tell you what, those of you who are professional readers, professional artists, all of that, shameless self-promotion is really necessary. You have to be good at getting it out there, as Stephen is right now. And, I really appreciate you doing that. And here's Amy sharing her website. This is really great stuff. I was just in a group on Facebook with someone who had just gotten rooked by a scam psychic who saw a dark cloud and needed a lot of money to remove the cloud and all of that. Please patronize honest, decent readers. We've got a bunch of them right here, right now. Okay. I want to thank you all so much. Again, if you are not a member at Global Tarot Circle, go there right now and ask to be a member. I promise I'll let you in. And we can continue any of these conversations there, along with ideas for what you'd like to do in our next meeting. I want to thank you all so much. I'm so grateful to all of you, and I wish you all a really wonderful new year. Hope to see you all really soon.